The era of pouty-faced Roger is here. Even the lowest of bums are calling him a weakling, making even Axeham Morgan shaking in his boots. It makes you think, this is the main player in the God Valley incident? Welcome to Brooks Sake, the One Piece YouTube channel for you and your mother. Today we're talking about chapter 1158, entitled Rocks vs. Herald. Usually I would be so inclined to jump right to the chapter, but today the cover story is quite shocking. It's actually revealing that our beloved Wano hero is none other than Gecko Moria, or more fittingly, Kozuki Moria, which if you keep up to date with namesaking in One Piece, isn't that surprising due to the fact that Kozuki and Gecko both mean the word moonlight in Japanese. This also probably means that the reason Moria was in Wano in the first place wasn't just to beat up the Dragon Man, but actually to protect his home country from being invaded, which says a lot since we saw Odin twerk for about 5 years. But speaking of bums, this chapter starts with a pouting Roger as he finds the woman of his dreams is not after him, but his best buddy, Silver's Rayleigh. Come and make me yours, Shakayaku. And Rayleigh isn't flat out rejecting Shaki either, but he still wants his freedom, and it seems this, even though he feels like this at the moment, it seems that this does stay the same case as we see in the Saboti arc. He is away from Shaki then more than half a year, and she was pretty chill with it. Even stating he's probably got a girl somewhere, which either means she's not worried or something more suggestive, but I'm going to lean more towards the first half. The Roger pirates then sail off to Hachinosu, and Garling has a secret meeting with the elders, which is kind of a cool callback to the future, as the only one in the scene missing is St. Garcia Saturn, the very one that Garling replaces. In fact, this page looks almost identical to the Garling introduction as the new elder, after Saturn is killed by Emu, and it's kind of just like this nice little parallel. It's just like a little info dump, you know, nothing too grand, but it's a good shot nonetheless. We are then shown the lively establishment of Shaki's bar, where it's revealed that Rocks has taken a lady to be his lover. This is pretty much confirmed to be Blackbeard's mother. And in Blackbeard fashion, we actually skip his birth as his right as king of off-screening. The Roger crew, excluding Rayleigh, arrive at the bar, much to the chagrin to one Shaki. It's then we are showcased the very first shared panel of Rocks, Diazabek, and Goldie Roger for the very first time, really setting the tone for what it was like for them back in the day, revealing that Shaki's bar is a safe haven for pirates with no fighting. We never really have gotten a panel between them two before, and I didn't realize this upon first reading it. Roger being more of an immature person than we're used to, Whitebeard hating on the clashing and drinking, and the swooning Shaki, we're seeing a lot of characters of how they used to be before they matured and became badass. And it's really funny how we can now compare Roger to someone like Sanji, for example. This part of the chapter also gave birth to something I don't think that has ever been done in the series. We see Roger frowning. Almost everything of Roger we have seen is smiling. And don't get me wrong, we see a lot of different emotions in the Oden flashback, but we've never seen it to this extent of almost anguish. It's this face and emotion of anger and resentment as the two, when on the open seas, really did have a rivalry. They really did hate each other. We then go straight to a clash between Herald and Rocks, the main focus of this chapter, hence the title. Seemingly Herald attacking Rocks as he wants what is best for the country, making it part of the world government. The panel of them fighting is just beautiful. A great panel that encapsulates exactly what this fight means, and when this eventually gets animated, it's going to be one hell of an episode. I'm really excited to see what they got cooking up on that one. Rocks accuses Herald of being a tool and a military asset for the world government, and when following their track record, isn't that wrong. Rocks even says Herald has lost his warrior's pride. The fight ends as Rocks calls Herald a cowardly rat, and states that their business is closed and their friendship is over. It's stated that the two would not meet again until certain events, which can be no other than, well, God Valley. But that brings up the point of Herald being a major player in the incident, and maybe Roger's team up with Garp had some sort of alternative motives? Almost like it was a clash between two angry friends rather than some other ulterior motive of gold, of power. And it makes me rethink about the whole Shaki being the reason behind God Valley now. The final page of the chapter showcases a baby Shamrock and Shanks, which really is a shame because Shamrock is looking a lot like the Thinking Monkey. He's a cute baby. It's going to be really hard for me to hate this baby, especially for his actions from the other parts of the Elbaf arc. But, it's a baby. He hasn't done that much bad yet. There's plenty of time for that to be justified. I think this chapter has a lot of small last things put into place. I think now more than ever is the chance to see the god Valiance in it, and it seems to be setting up that way. I think even the next chapter could showcase the beginning of it. It also seems like we're finally wrapping up the majority of the Shaki subplot, which I'm all here for, but still so much you can do with it. I'm wondering if she has any more part in the rest of this flashback, or she's just going to kind of be more linked to Rayleigh or the Roger incident, or maybe we're just going to focus on the real clash between all the characters on God Valley. But it really does seem like we're getting an all-out war with everyone at the center. Rox versus Herald. Garp versus Roger. Roger and Garp versus Rox and Herald. All of them fight with Shaki in their hearts. It seems to be all leading up to this as we march ever so closely to what happened on that fateful day 38 years ago.